what's a day in the life of a real estate agent even like? I don't care if you're a brand new agent, somebody who's been in the industry for 25 years, or you're just wondering how you even need an agent because the market's so amazing, you just put a sign up. Today we're gonna give you a little bit of an insight into all of the different things that goes into it. Now this job is not easy despite what you may think on TV, so if you're thinking that it's all sunshine and rainbows, trust me, the grass is not always greener, but it is fun. You're always doing different things every single day. Take this case in point. This is one of our newest listings in Port Stanley. By the time you see this, it may be gone because the cottage market is crazy, but a listing like this can actually take 30, 60, 90 days to bring to market. When you're interacting with the clients, quite often you're doing a whole pile of consultation, pricing reports. We'll get into that later on in the video before you even get to this point. But now that we're here, again, the market's so hot, I could just throw a sign up. Why are we even doing this? It's because in this day and age, what you do before you actually list a property has more of an impact on the money that you get at the end of the day than you can possibly imagine. Don't believe me? I can literally take my phone out right now, do a live stream once we're done this portion of the video, and get a whole pile of people who are dialed in, paying attention to these platforms, getting access to this property before the public does and on MLS. And we actually get more eyeballs than MLS does. Don't believe me? Stick with me for this video.
Also has a breakfast bar cut out with an open concept view of the rest of the home. So we get to experience everybody all at the same time.
Like Justin coming into the video and ruining his shot. So this is what we're talking about, right? He's putting a lot of effort into telling the narrative of this house. Kyle, we were talking outside about how preparing the listing before you actually hit MLS is integral. Like, what is your system before you actually throw a sign up?
We've done a ton of work with these sellers actually. We ran comparable analysis. We've actually toured the property multiple times to get it prepared. Had our stager come through and give her opinion on what the furnishers look like. So there's a ton of work that goes into it before you ever even see a coming soon sign.
But you make it look easy, like it's on TV, right? That's the goal?
That's the goal. You want to make it look easy.
Yeah, let's keep moving.
Yeah, so it started off with a phone call. You know, he kind of put it out there, asked a bunch of questions. I gave him, you know, what I thought was his best way to go about it. From there, we met in person, went through the house. He told me everything that he put into it, told me why he loved it, why he was moving. And once I compiled a bunch of data and a bunch of features that set it apart, then I was able to kind of put together the media presentation to show him exactly where I thought his home sat in the market at the time.
Okay, that's fine. So we'll prep, like we'll basically tell the entire team. So real estate's super glamorous, right? It's not what you see on TV all the time. Working lunch while we're sitting down and going over a new dev site. People think the market's absolutely incredible. You just put a sign up and it is. The market is hot and there's a massive demand, especially in these secondary and tertiary markets that we work in. But people don't see is the hundreds of hours that go into these projects, doing preliminary pricing research, market analysis, trying to figure out who the buyers are. This is the landing Port Stanley by Domus site. Domus built this incredible building, but we also created a market that didn't exist when we were doing the semi-launch, trying to find comps. Literally didn't exist. So we're looking at other tertiary markets that are similar to Port Stanley and see the absorption rate, making sure we're giving fair pricing, but also doing a lot of forecasting for the builders. I think that's where the role of an agent comes in. It's not just putting up a sign and sitting at the open house. Anybody can do that. It's really having a plan. So what we're doing now is we're talking about the marketing rollout for the condo project, which by the time you watch this, I bet you phase one is already sold out. And we're looking at getting the right people in the right seats. So what we do is we have a dark launch list. We have people that have been waiting for this product for some time. We're always giving them first kick at the can. We sit down every Tuesday with our builder, go over things that are changing, material costs, project costs, you know, any delays that are happening. And then we're making sure we're communicating that with the people. I think the biggest failings real estate agents have is they don't do the preliminary work to ensure the right product delivery or transfer of information. You know, I'll use some of the semis, for example, where with COVID lockdowns and everything else, there are some delays that are going to naturally happen in the industry, but the buyers have also experienced a massive equity increase from being early on in these projects, which is why people buy new devs. So just thought I'd give you a little bit of insight into what we're actually doing.
So like Justin just said, there is a ton of work that goes in on the back end of things, especially in the new construction world. For example, COVID-19 has significantly impacted how we do our business and even how people build homes. We've had to unfortunately delay a few files in terms of our landings project, and the reason is because we just can't have so many people actually constructing these homes on site all together at once. So, you know, one plumber has had to go in and then the next day an electrician can go in. It's very slowed down, unfortunately. So instead of, you know, having a call from a realtor and just saying, hey, unfortunately your closing date is delayed, we are actually partnering with the builder and being very much proactive versus reactive on that side of things to try and understand upcoming timelines, make sure that we can, you know, fight that fire before it even starts. That way we're not only helping you, the end consumer, but we're also partnering with the builder on all of the things that they need to work on as well so that we can take it off their plate and they can focus on just building you an amazing home.
Things people don't see, they think it just looks like Hollywood on TV, but these are literally placemats that I cleaned and brought back to the office so the team can eat. And it's all the little things. It's taking out the garbage, you know, smiling while you're doing it. That affects when you're actually doing the big deal. You can feel good about things because you took care of the small things.
Just love your feedback on it. And you can give feedback to Karina as well.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, sir.
I think I can add, because I'm building right now off what I've been learning, a little workbook for our entire team on them figuring out their niches. You're seeing like behind the scenes, you hear these guys talking, we're doing a commercial catch-up meeting. Fun part about this is we're holding ourselves accountable, right? So again, you don't see this as the public, but we have these meetings weekly to go over the tenant reps we're doing, the development projects, what we're doing for our commercial landlords, because we're definitely not the type of brokerage that just leaves a sign up for like 10 years and then just calls you for renewal paperwork saying we have the lead. Just not fun. We just don't enjoy that type of business.
Check it out.
So question for you guys, or Jamie, specifically on that point. I mean, people will think real estate agents are just out to make a buck, but you just explained a situation where you told buyers to put conditions into an offer versus coming in firm. Can you explain why you did that?
Yes, they weren't even my client. They're actually on the other side of the deal. I was my own client, so I know them well, and we're in it for the long run. So I basically just said, hey, put conditions in. Let's go slow. Let's check it out. I'm not hiding anything, but feel free to check everything out and make sure you're happy with it. And there's two sides to that. Obviously, it's bonus for them, and they get the ability to check it out and not rush into something. But it's also a bonus for us because it does in some ways kind of get rid of any liability for misrepresentation or not, or just something where somebody's assuming the wrong thing. So clean your deals. It makes sense in the long run.
There you go. So not every real estate agent's just out to make a buck, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going in the vlog, just so you know. I have Nico recording that, so we're gonna put that in the vlog. It's a nice piece of content.
You were
Slide dog. Iris, I want you to explain kind of what we're doing in this meeting, just high level, like why you think it's important.
Well, I think every single week we try to, summarize what we've been doing, touch base with all of our clients so that we're not leaving anyone behind. Everyone's getting touched at least once a week at the minimum, even if it's someone that, is in our long-term list.
Yeah.
And just so we're all on the same page as well, it's very important.
Very much so, especially when you're working with a team. Thank you, Nico.
Yeah.